are straight from your additional practice that you've been assigned in ed today. So an architect is making a scale model for a new school building. So they're drawing the model of it. The door to the school on the scale drawing is 12 inches tall. The actual door is 8 feet tall. Based on the measures of the door, what is the unit rate? So I know I need to compare it to 1 of the actual school building per inch of the module. So it wants feet compared to inches. So we're going to put feet on top and the inches on the bottom. So 8 feet divided by 12. And let's just start and simplify this problem a little bit. So what number can go into 8 and 12? Well, that is 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the scale, the model, is 2/3 of the actual building here. So here's our unit rate is 2/3. So what would the actual height of the wall be? That's 24 inches in the drawing. So if I have 24 inches and I want 2/3 of that, so that will tell me this problem here, how high the actual door is. So when I do 24 times 2, that's 48. And 1 times 3 is 3. So if you finish that problem there, 48 divided by 3, that will tell you the actual height of a wall, because our model is 2/3 of the actual thing. So if this is the picture, then we can use 2/3 of this, which is to multiply, and figure that problem out. So I'll let you do that part. Okay, so number 2 says Paula bought 18 feet of ribbon for $24.75. So we've got, first it wants the unit rate of price per foot. So that means I'm dividing by the feet. So I'm going to put my money on top and feet on the bottom. So money on top, $24.75. We're dividing by 18, and we can double check that that's what we're doing, because I want to know the price, the money per 1 foot, right there. So 24.75 times 1 is 24.75. That's what goes in the box. And then I'm dividing by the leftover one is 18. So you might need to add a 0 here to finish your problem, and then you'll round and look back behind. So remember, if this number here that you're looking at is 0 to 4, the underlined number will stay the same. If the number behind the underline is 5 through 9, then it's going to bump the underlined number up. So now we know our unit rate. So I'll let you do that part. So now you know the unit rate. At that same rate, what would the price of 48 feet of ribbon be? So now you're going to take 48 and multiply it by your division answer. And that will tell you the price of 48 feet. So go ahead and try that question about Paula's ribbon. Say number 3 tells us that Jackson bought paint for $11.50 per can. So I know we've got money and we've got cans. So every time he spent $11.50, he got 1 can per each can. How much money would his total cost be if he needed 4 cans of paint? So I'm going to put 4 on the bottom here because that's a can of paint. And I'm looking for the total cost here. So this, now that I have it set up, it tells me I need to do $11.50 times by 4. And then we would divide by 1, which is going to be the same thing. So we don't even need to worry about that. So we just need to do $11.50 times by 4. Don't forget to move your decimal when you're done. And that will tell you the total cost of 4 cans of paint. Hey, number 4 here, it says that Kayla takes 7 hours to mow 2 lawns. So I'm comparing hours and lawns. So anytime it's talking about hours, I want those numbers on the top. Anytime it's talking about lawns, we want that number on the bottom. So 7 hours to mow 2 lawns. Those must be very large lawns. At this same rate, how long will it take her to mow 13 lawns? So that's a lawn, so it's going to go on the bottom. So I'm looking for the hours it will take her to do that. So I come here and I'm going to do 7 times 13. So 13 times 7, and that number is going to go inside your division box. And our leftover number is 2, so we're going to divide by 2. So I know that this number is not going to be even here, so you might need to add a decimal and a 0 to see how many hours it will take her. Hey, number 5 says Karina paid $40 to weed the garden, is paid $40 to weed the garden 5 times. So I'm comparing money to gardening. So money and garden. So $40 for 5 times. At this same rate, how many times, so I'm looking for how many times she has to garden to earn $100. So I want $100 now. How many times does she have to garden? So I notice that 5 and 100 are my crisscross numbers. So I'm going to do 5 times 100. And then my leftover number is 40. So this is what goes inside the division box, is 100 times 5. And then we're dividing by 40 to see how many times she has to weed the garden to earn $100. So set up your problem, do your crisscross, that goes inside the division box. The leftover number is what we're dividing by. Okay, so now we have 210 kilometers in 3.5 hours, and we want to find the unit rate. So we've got kilometers and we've got hours. So 210 kilometers. We want to divide that by 3.5 hours. And then the unit rate wants to know how many kilometers per 1 hour. So here's the problem we're starting with. And that's going to go inside your division box. And then 3.5 is the other number that we're dividing by. So I need to move my decimal, move my decimal. So find the unit rate. So how many kilometers in 1 hour? And then we're going to take that number and multiply it by 8 to see 8 hours. So we know 1 hour times by 8 will tell us how many kilometers in 8 hours. Hey, our last problem for today says $70.20 for 6.5 hours. So it wants to find the unit rate per hour. So money on the top, hours on the bottom. So $70.20 for 6.5 hours. And I want to know how much money happens in 1 hour. So I crisscross multiply here, and that goes inside the division box. And then 6.5 is my leftover. That's what I'm dividing by. So I need to move the decimal and move the decimal. So my decimal is actually going to be after the 2. So 702 divided by 65. So that will tell me how much money in 1 hour. Now I'm going to take that answer and multiply it by 80 to find how much they would make in 80 hours. Okay, so if you are still struggling to set these up or do the math, please let me know so we can set up a time to meet and I can help you practice some more of these problems. So we'll be doing some more practice of these on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday before we take our test as well. So just remember, set up your labels, match everything up, crisscross multiply goes inside, the leftover number goes on the outside. Hey, let me know if there's anything I can do to help you.